What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another video. I want to share some of my biggest tips that helped me get this stretch of 20 straight green days in the month of December, even rolling into the new year, and what got me to take three payouts all within the same week. I took two on a 50K account, and if you haven't seen, I already took my entire XFA account after achieving 30 days of $200. I cleared out the entire account, taking 100% of my balance rather than the normal 50 for payouts, right? But I want to share some of my biggest tips. I feel like I've talked about it before, and I definitely have on this channel. But just coming from that Dallas event, I feel like it seems like a lot of people still were maybe a little bit confused on exactly what my key foundational things, my non negotiables, you might say, of what do I need to see to get me into a trade? How do I be so patient? First of all, to be so patient, I have a strict plan. I'm confident in that plan that it's best for me. I should be following that, right? Because if you don't believe in what you're doing, you're going to have a tough time executing it to the best of your ability because you're kind of like, nah, I don't need it. I don't trust it, right? But I know that's best for me. I need to be following that day in and day out. That gives me my best chance to make money. So let's look at the charts here and talk about some of the non-negotiables that I need to take into a trade. So first things first, I need trending structure, trending price action, whatever you want to say. Here in this first hour, we don't have it. We're making lower highs on top potentially, definitely some lower lows. So maybe we're starting to trend a little bit, but I can't just have blindly following this short-term 1 minute trend. Now let's go pop open the 15 minute, my second non-negotiable of what do I need to do on that given day to help me get my bias. So here's the 15-minute view of it on the left side. On the trade that we're potentially looking for shorts here on these lower lows, let me just circle it. And you can see where it's drawn on the white on the left. That's where I'm saying the shorts look good with these lower highs and lower lows on the 1 minute. On a pin down through the daily view up, closing back bullish above it right here. After we're making higher highs and higher lows overnight, above today's daily view up, that's check one, and above yesterday's New York view up here in blue, that's check two. So clean trending structure on the 15 minute, definitely looking bullish above both view ups there. Now the 1 minute doesn't look trending, but it's also not in line with that 15-minute vision that I have that I want to see longs come in because that's the higher probability play. That's the overall trend. So now I'm really only looking for long. So I'm not even induced into these shorts because I don't believe it. I don't want it. I don't think it's going to sustain. That's not the high probability trend. Let me look for longs to come back in. So simply put, I'm looking for longs only. So this 1 minute is not feeding that bias. Now, could I give up on that bias if I come back in an hour and go back over here? And we're now below the daily view up and breaking below yesterday's New York, breaking for new lows. Yeah, I could look for some shorts there, but right here and now, it's way too soon to be saying today's a bearish day just because we've had 40 minutes to an hour of bullish sentiment. So there's the few of the steps there. But I need trending structure on the 1 minute to align with that 15-minute longs that I want. Well, finally, we get a break for a new high a day. So now I could maybe look to anchor my high day view up there, wait for the pullback because I'm not chasing the highest prices. I'm not chasing breakouts. Every amateur in the book is going to want to long it there because they think it's popping. It's going to run without me. Here are the longs. They get smoked. Then I want to come in, picking up their crumbs because they're getting in too soon. I'm going to get in at a lower price once buyers are telling me they're stepping back in to go continue this bullish trend that I'm reading on the 1 minute. I've been reading it on the 15-minute, but now it's also telling me it's here on the 1 minute. So I can get in long there with a stop loss below the New York VWAP. So I'd probably have a good chance of even retesting it and still being right as long as we're holding above this. My stop loss should be safe if these longs are going to hold and play in. And they do look really good because we just held nicely, as you saw, on the 15-minute above all VWAPs. So high day VWAP break is the next step with that trending structure, with the 15-minute, right? You guys know all that. But to add another layer to it, let's throw on the initial bounce. These black lines are the opening range. Let's throw on the initial bounce, which is the high and low from the first hour. So this pop lower actually set in that initial balance low. If we go over to Edgeful real quick, we can even see. Let's go to Edgeful, the initial balance report. So you can see double breaks only 30% of the time in the last year. Now it is 78 times out of the full year, so that's 78 days. That's a sounds like a good number, but it's really only 30% of the times does it break both sides of it. So now that we took out the top here, there's only a 30% chance we want to come all the way back down and double break it, right? I think that makes sense. So it kind of just keeps me looking for that one side to keep on going. Only looking for longs now because we probably don't want to come back down and make a new low a day. Not that I thought we'd want to do it anyways, based off of what I'm reading on the 15-minute. Buyers are holding now above this New York view up nicely after you could have taken this break If you were really convicted on the longs, you could have longed it there, caught a little bit higher, wait for the pullback, buy it around the same price a little bit later on, and you catch this nice piece of the move, right? So catching those higher highs, right? Another thing I would add that maybe I don't discuss it enough. I don't want to be chasing price. I think that's a given. Like I'm saying, I don't want to be longing this up here. That I'm trying to catch a higher low come in and then get in before that next higher high comes in, right? So the place to long it would have been around this New York VWAP, and you catch the higher high. All right, missed that move. I'm not jumping in now. Pull back. Here's our higher low. Well, let me get in before this pops without me and makes that higher high. Boom. There's the higher high. Now I'm not just jumping in up here because I missed the move. The move happened. I didn't get my good price. Now it's clearly long bias, but if it's too clearly long bias, the trade's probably too crowded and everyone's jumping in now. That is not when I want to be getting in. I want to be getting in before everyone gets in and be taking profits once all the amateurs jump in because it's clearly bullish at that point. Well, then let me get out because the amateurs are probably about to step in and we're going to pull back, right? So using that 15-minute is crucial for me. That's the biggest switch I think I made in this streak of 20 days, 30 green days, whatever. The biggest thing is just not ignoring this 15-minute of wanting trending structure, obviously, on it, but even just simply putting of not trading against those VWAPs that were above it, so I'm looking for longs. We're above yesterday's New York, so I'm looking for longs. The structure overnight has been higher highs, higher lows. We couldn't get below it one time, two time, three, four, five times overnight. We couldn't get below these VWAPs. So why am I going to short this here and predict that we're going to break it now and just shift trend and come back lower? Nothing's really telling me that. So let me just lean into the longs that are presenting, wait for them to present here on the 1 minute, which they do over here at 11 o'clock, 11:20. So if you could have just been patient for 2 hours, sounds like a lot, and it could be very tough to sit through this, right? Because how many of you maybe want to chase along there or take along up here, and you're not really getting these big pops because it's not ready to move until 11 o'clock. It wasn't ready to pop until then. So you got to sit on your hands, maybe be patient, wait for that trend to come in, be willing to come back in later, be willing to come back in tomorrow if it's not going to present for your liking today. They don't need to go long it there, take a loss, sell it there, take a loss, long it back up here, take a loss. Now here's the beautiful trend, but you're 0 for 3 on the day. You got no more risk to put in the market. Sorry, we're going to move without you, right? You want to be available to trade these best setups. Not, I even discussed this at the Dallas event. For anyone that's been tuning into the streams on ASFX TV or even just these YouTube videos, I think for the most part, you guys all understand why I like this trade, why I think it's good, why it's so beautiful, right? It's not that you guys don't understand it. I know you guys can find these wins. It's a matter of do you take these losses back here that taking this win later on maybe just recovers your day or recovers some of it back that you're not really green on the day. You're just maybe scalping some of it back or making your red days a little bit less, right? So you're not really growing or growing that account. You're kind of just making up for those bad losses. So it's not always about find these great winners. For most of you, you already do. It's about cutting out these bad losers of taking this short into the daily view up, taking this short into the daily view up. Those are the bad trades you need to cut out. And I know you're going to take that short, but you're also going to take this long. So that's good. So keep on taking that long, but ignore these shorts. That's the biggest tip because I feel like many of you guys know how to find these wins, like I'm saying. So it's a matter of cutting out the losers, not taking more winners, right? This is why this is the best trade of the day because of all the things I just listed out. The 15-minute above all VWAPs, finally a new high day, however small it may be, you can't argue it. It's a new high a day. So buyers finally had the strength to make a new high. We're trending a little bit higher. Let's get a pullback, break of high a day VWAP. Boom, let's go continue that trend that I think is so bullish. If you missed that one, all right, well, let's re-anchor to that high day VWAP, wait for it to pull back to that initial balance, and you can long it somewhere maybe on that break over here and catch this move, right? Rather than jumping at the top up here, that may be the price that pays, but that's not the time that it pays. The price that it wants to leave from is later on in like an hour and a half or so, right? And another quick lesson that we went over, talking about those 2 hours of being patient. Oh my God, that sounds like forever. It is, but then you look back and you're like, oh my God, so clearly long bias. I was so confused back here, potentially looking for shorts, where if I just gave it time and came back in, maybe let's just say over here, you would have been only looking for longs, no doubt about it. Now let me find my best spot. That the trend, for the most part, if you give it enough time, starts to become more clear and you have conviction in a certain direction. But don't get too confused or even waste your mental energy trying to decipher where is this gonna go, where is that gonna go. Like if you don't know, just stay out. Wait for new information, aka a new high a day. That's new information telling you buyers are in. Okay, beautiful. Now let me read and react off that, game plan my next long, and there we go. I can find plenty more examples. We went over it all in the Dallas event, the 2-day boot camp we had of showing these 15 minutes of how I'm using it. And then even the next day, you come in, I think it was this. Let's just move some of these VWAPs here. If I throw in a daily view up on that real quick, same thing here. Maybe finding shorts at the open. What does it do? Pins the daily, then continues the trend back higher. Simple, 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 right? And leading into it, it was all buyers. So why am I just going to react to 10 minutes of shorts and saying, oh my God, it's a bearish day? I'm not. I'm going to say, oh, this is probably a nice healthy pullback to the daily that we needed because we're a little overextended pre-market. Give me a nice low buy price to go continue that bullish trend. There you go. All right. So hopefully you found some value in this. Those are my checklists. I'm going to keep making these videos to try to hone in on it more and more and explain it more and more. But we'll keep going over these setups as they come. I hope you guys found value in it. Trade safe. I'll see you guys on the charts tomorrow morning.